Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. I wanted to jump on here really quickly to show you the sale that's going on today only, and it's every Wednesday they have a different sale. Thanks to Linda for letting us know about this. This is called a $1 Wednesday or something like that. If you look on my screen back behind me, you can see the four little sets that I'm buying, the Christmas packs that I'm buying, and I'm going to show you how you can use these easily with your Cricut machine or your Silhouette machine. So I'm going to check out and I'll meet you back here. Okay, once you've finished paying for your items, you'll see them listed over here, and you can go to the downloads and just download what you've gotten already. So it's right here, and I'll just download this first one. Notice it comes right down here in my Windows machine. It's a zip file and it's pretty big. So I'm going to wait for that to download. And actually, while I'm waiting, I could probably go to another one that might not be as big. Let's check this one out. These are all the elements that you can get. Okay, the first one is done. And that one's done. So the next thing you need to do is just double click on this to open it up. And notice it's right here. However, I can't use these things in here. Even if I try to view them as extra large icons, I can't see them. What I need to do is say extract all. And I just let it extract to wherever it's going to, wherever it automatically goes, and then it's going to show me the files. Now when I double click on this to open it, now I can see them, and if I want to make them larger, I can right click in a blank area of my screen and say view extra large icons, and boy oh boy, I can see some extra large ones now. There's some really pretty things right here, right? So let's just start with one of these and I'll show you how to use these. I'll open up Silhouette, which I actually already have open, and I'm not even sure what I was working on here. I was doing if any of you belong to our Patreon group, we're going to talk about the pick scan mat on Sunday. But anyway, let's go to File and Open. And I'm going to open something from that new folder. I think I will just go ahead and open this. And it comes in at a nice size. It's like 2.5 by almost 3. I can scroll in by coming up here to the icon that looks like a bug to me. And just drag over it and it makes it larger. Now if I want my cutting machine to cut this out, let's go to Send and see what happens. Okay, that's going to cut it out perfectly, just like that, right? I can say cut edge, just like that. But let's imagine that I want to add an offset to it. So I can just come over here to the star that has an offset on it, click on that to open the offset panel, and then click on the word offset. And I can change the offset to any size I want, and I can make it any color I want. If I want to grab a green that's already in my image, all I have to do is get this eyedropper and click in the green and check that out. It made the offset green. Maybe I want to have 2 offsets. Maybe I want to offset again, and this time do a red offset. Come up here again, up in the upper left hand corner, eyedropper and red, and then let's imagine I want to do one more. So let's offset, and this time I'm going to make it white. Okay. So let's group all this together and move it over so you can see what it looks like. Isn't that cool? I love it. So again, if we go to Send, it's just going to cut the outermost edge of our item, and that's exactly what we want. If we're saving this for Cricut Design Space, as I've said before, what I do is this outermost line right here, I change that to a medium gray color like that. Okay, and then I'll just come up here and go to File, Save As, save it to my hard drive, and I'll name it with offset for Cricut. And I'm not going to save it as an Silhouette file. I'm going to save it as a JPEG for my Cricut machine. And if I have the business edition, which is a one-time fee, hey, you guys, if you don't have this, you ought to grab it. It's on sale right now. I paid 99 bucks when I got mine, but it's on sale right now, I think for 50 something, Tammy said. Anyway, I can change this if I have the business edition to SVG. I could save it as a PNG. a JPEG, whatever. I'm going to save it as a JPEG for Cricut. So I'll say save. Okay. I'm going to leave these things all as they are and say save. Then I'd open up Cricut Design Space and I'll go to Upload, Upload an Image, Browse. Okay, and here I opened it for Cricut. So I'll come over here to Complex and I'm just going to say Continue. And then I'll hit over here to make all of this part transparent and say Apply and Continue. And there's what I want. I want to print and cut. So I'll click on this to highlight it, say Upload. And here it is. Add it to my canvas. And you can see how nice that comes in, just like that. Now it came in really, really big. You can resize it to whatever size you'd like. But do notice that you have the really nice 3 offsets. And you're wondering, well, I really can't see the white very well. Remember what you can do in Cricut Design Space to see the outermost thing that's going to cut is to come down here where it says Blank Canvas. Click on that and then come up here to the very top where it says Color. Click on that and then make it a color. And now you can see the outermost white edge that's going to cut. Okay. So I hope that makes sense to you. If we went to make it, of course it's not going to be able to be made because it's way too large for print and cut. So if I wanted to make this print and cuttable, I'd have to make it a lot smaller. And notice this over here. This gives you a clue. Look at this little warning symbol right here. That tells us something's wrong. So all I really need to do is start pushing this in until that warning symbol goes away. And then I would know that my object is no longer too big. I can go to Make It. And there it is, just like that. I would send it to my printer first and then send it through to my cutter. So let's cancel this and go back to Silhouette. Let's see what else we downloaded. So I'm going to go to File and Merge because I wanted to come on the same page. All right, let's see what else we have here. How about, let's open up this sleigh. Isn't that cute? Oh, I love this sleigh. So again, if I wanted to, I could just go ahead and put a white offset on this. Maybe I just want to cut it out as a sticker. Maybe I want to make a sheet of stickers for somebody. Or if I'm sending out Christmas cards, I can close the envelope with a sticker. Or I can cut it on cardstock like some of the Digi Chicks always do and embellish cards with it. So let's add an offset to this. Click on it to select it, add an offset. And I can see there's a little bit of a problem with the offset, and I'll show you why. Let's move this up here. I'll take this off. Notice what's going to happen with this offset. There's going to be a cut right here, and we don't need it. And a cut, right there. We don't need that either. So I'm going to drag this back down here. And do I want that to cut between these guys? I'm thinking I just want that all to be white, right? The whole solid offset. So I'm going to click on this, right click and say, Release Compound Path. And notice that puts little boxes around everything. Remember, we learned about that again yesterday. That means all of those little pieces that make up that offset are selected. Then all I have to do is weld them. So I can right click again and say Weld. And now it's one solid piece. And I can bring my sleigh back over here. And just so you can see it more clearly, I could make it a different color so you'd be able to see. Let's make it blue. And there you can see what the offset would look like if I made it for a sticker, if I cut it with cardstock, whatever. All right, let's go ahead and see what else we had downloaded. And I'm going to go to this, and I downloaded this, I think. Yep, PP1 zip. There it is. So I got to open that. And again, I'm going to have to extract everything. Extract. And now we're going to get a whole slew of papers that we can use to go with this. And again, you can print these on cardstock. You can print them on paper. But look at these. Look at all these tags you get. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? Let's open that up. I'm going to go here. I think I'll go to a new page, File, and New. And I'm going to go to open, and I'm going to go up because I want to get in that other folder, the PP1 one. And there, okay, I wanted these because I want to show you how fun these are. So if I scroll out a little bit, they're really big right now, right? I don't want them anywhere near that big, so I'm just going to take this corner box right here. Notice if you take a side box and do this, it's going to squish them and make them weird looking. So let me undo that. If I take the corner box, it'll change the size proportionately, and that's what I want. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll in a little bit so you can see better. I'm going to get all these tags at one time. So I'm going to come over here to the trace, select the trace area, and I'm going to trace all of this. And once I think the outer edges of everything are traced nicely, like this one is not, look at that. And I'm not sure if I can get that one traced nicely. Maybe not. So I might have to come back and do that one at a different time. But I can go to trace and detach. And this is going to take a little while because there's so much here. But I can just move this piece off and delete it. Actually, I don't need that anymore. And then what I can do is, let's see, are these all grouped together? No, they're perfect. Look at that. Okay, you want an, oopsie, that one has some text that got lost. So let's go ahead and grab everything and group. Okay, now if you want to see how to make a hole in these for your machine to cut a hole, it's really, really easy. Okay, I decided to do some different ones because these are some that I really want to print out. So I'm going to go ahead and trace them again. These guys right up here, select the trace area. And I'll just trace these three right here for now. Or maybe go down to this group. There we go, that's perfect. Going to trace those. And I'm going to up the threshold. Perfect. And again, notice this whole thing is not traced, but we'll fix that. So I'll say trace and detach. Okay, I can move this sheet out of the way. I no longer need it, and I actually can just delete it. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this one that has not the total finished. You see how there's some openings there? I'm going to hold down the Alt on my keyboard and, whoops, not that. I'm going to grab the whole thing and group. Then I'm going to hold down the Alt and drag one over. Then I'm going to go ahead and I think what I'll do is I'll just actually make a rectangle the exact same size as this one. So I can click on this and I can see that it is 5.227 wide. So I'm going to make another one. Actually, I'll just do this. 5.227 wide. I'm going to unlock the lock. 5.227, enter. Oops. 5.227, enter. Okay, that's the right width. And then the height of this one is 8.718. So I can get rid of this. 8.718. 8.718. Enter. Okay, so that should be the exact same size as this one. So I'm just going to change it to white. Come up here and change the color to white. And then I'm just going to right click on it and say send it to the back. And then I'm just going to grab both of these things and come up here and center it. And then group. So that one's ready to go now. It's not messed up anymore like it was originally. Okay, and as I said, I was going to show you how to put holes in these easily. So if you want to put a hole in one of these, just come over here on the left-hand side, grab the circle tool, hold down your shift key if you want to have a perfect circle, and drag a circle, just like that. And if you want them all to be the same size, of course, you can hold down the Alt button while this one is selected and see how it changes the cursor. Then I can drag one over to the next thing, drag one over here, and drag one over here. So all I'm doing is lifting up and then putting back down. All right, so the way to make a hole then is just to grab both of these two things, the circle. Here's how I usually do. Circle, shift, background. That makes me grab all of it. Then I come over to the Modify panel and say Subtract. Check it out. There's a hole right in the middle of that now. Same with this one. Grab the circle, Shift, Background, Subtract. Okay. Circle. Let me close this window so I can show you again where I found it. Circle, Shift, click the background, come over here to this panel that says Modify panel, open it, and then click on Subtract. Okay. And let's do this one. Circle. That doesn't look very well centered. Circle, Shift, Background, Subtract. This would make it a little weird. Let's see. Circle, Shift, Background, Subtract. Oh, that worked. However, notice this. All these little pieces came ungrouped again. Check it out. See that? So we don't want that to happen. Let me undo. So let's just go ahead and grab everything again and right-click and group. Group. Circle, Shift, Background, Subtract. Okay. So now I just wanted to show you how you can write some text on here if you wanted to. Just come over here to the text tool and maybe type in to Kim and from, we'll leave that like that, to Kim. Come over here and get the text tool again and write from Mom. Okay. So we probably don't want the font to be the way it looks right there. So we can change it. I probably want to change the coloring as well. So I think I will change it to a reddish color that's in the thing already. So I'm going to highlight that, come up here to this box up in the upper left hand corner, get the eyedropper, and I can come right in here and get a red color that's in the flower. All right, I'm just going to mess with Kim and then I'll show you how I'll make the mom be the same. So with the Kim selected now, I can come over here to the text style panel, click on that to open it, and then just click on any one of these fonts that I liked. And I actually kind of like Moonchild script, so it made it just like that. Now, if I wanted the mom to be exactly the same rather than changing the color and changing the font, I can just come over here, click on the thing I want to change, which is mom, come over here to this bottommost eyedropper. It's the transfer properties of a shape eyedropper. So it's going to transfer the properties of a shape to a selected shape. So my selected shape is mom, and the properties I want to transfer to mom are in the word Kim. So watch what happens when I click on this. Well, click on mom, click on the eyedropper tool, and then click on mom. There we go. So you see that? Let me show you again. Okay, to do the transfer properties eyedropper tool, you're going to select something you want to change. Click on the eyedropper and click on the text. Okay, let's pretend like we had mom something else, this. And let's imagine we wanted Kim to be like that. Let's change it to a different color. Okay, so I want to change the properties of the word Kim. I want to change them, get the eyedropper, to the same properties from mom. Okay, so that's how easy it is to make them exactly the same. But again, I'm going to go back to that one I like, the Moonchild script. Kim, Moonchild script. Change the color again back to that. So if I want to change mom to be exactly like that, click on mom, the thing I want to change, click on this eyedropper down here, the transfer properties eyedropper, and suck up the properties I want to put into the other one. Perfect. And then, of course, I'd have to group. All right, let's see. Maybe, let's do one more thing. Maybe right here you want to put 2021 or something. So I could come over here to the text panel, type in 2021, and maybe I want to make it larger. So I'm going to click off and click back on, and I'm going to make it larger. And maybe I want to change the font. And that's a little bit too large. Now maybe I can change the line spacing, but before I do that, Something else that I can do here is click on this, click on the font, and come over here to this warp panel. Notice it looks like a piece of paper that's warped. Just click on that, and then with this thing selected, I could come to the second icon right here, and it'll give me options of how I can warp that if I want to. So if I wanted that to be rounded like that, I could do that. If I double click on it, let's see, there we go. If I click on it, I'm able to get these little boxes and things back up, and you can just play with these to see what you can do with them. And probably I'd want to not have that be blue, so I change it to white. But anyway, that's something else you can do. It's a little too bold in my opinion for the rest of the font or the rest of the stuff. Oopsie. Still a little bit too bold, but you can mess with that. You get the idea. Once again, though, I'd need to group everything. Okay. So let's scroll out a little bit. Now, if I was really going to print and cut these on my machine, of course, I'd have to make them a lot smaller. And I'm going to scroll in now so you can see. But I think this might need to be grouped again. Yes, it does. See that? I noticed when I was moving that it looked weird. And this doesn't need this circle anymore. Must have had an extra. So let's go ahead and grab all the, whoopsie. Let's move some of these out of the way. My mouse is misbehaving a little bit. See, it's not grabbing things well. And now, okay. And this one I have to group again. Remember, you can see it's all little pieces. So I'm going to right click and say group. Then I can move it over here. And do you know if I wanted to, I could even grab another one of these, hold down my Alt key and drag it down, and I think I could actually fit another one in here. I wonder if another one would fit right here. Don't know, I might be pressing my luck. Let's try the tree. Alt drag, swirl it around. This. So I'm not exactly sure if that's going to fit. So what I would do now is I would turn on my cut lines. So go back to my page setup panel, show the cut border. All right, so it looks like that's going to work. Let's see. Okay, that's going to work perfectly. So now what I would do is I would go to send, and notice there's a bunch of junk that's not cutting the way I want it to. So I would grab all this stuff and say cut edge, and now it's just going to cut the edges and the holes. Okay, as you can see, I've already printed them out. The registration marks are here, and I could just cut this with my cutter, with my portrait or my Cricut, but I'm going to go ahead and laminate these just so you can see something else you could do with these things. Maybe not for the tags, but certainly for some of the other things that you might want to put on cards or make as embellishments, and I just want to show you how easy it is. So you just put this inside of your laminating machine or inside of your laminating pouch. And then usually we like to take a piece of paper and put our little folder, in the paper, because that seems to help it from ever getting wrapped around the rollers inside. Make sure that's going to fit. Yep, perfect. So just where it's going to start. And when the ready light comes on, I'll stick this in here, and then I'll show you how my machine can even read the registration marks through the laminating film. I'm thinking that maybe if you ever have trouble with that, what you could do is take a magic marker, a Sharpie, and just blacken those lines, the little square or the little knot lines if you need to. But I haven't needed to yet, but I'm ready just in case. Okay, my laminator light is ready, so I'm just going to stick this in here and let it begin. You just get it started, and the laminator just pulls it through automatically just like that. And one thing that I like to do, these are the thermal laminating pouches that I use. They last forever, but I've written here in magic marker what settings I use for my portrait. So I use a blade, and this will be different for everybody. This is because of the age of my blade, etc. But my blade is 8, my force is 30, my speed is 4, and my passes are 2 or 3. It's come out the other side, and so I can turn off my laminator. And let's check it out. Look how shiny and nice those look. Huh, I put the Kim from Mom on here, so I really can't use that one because I don't have a daughter named Kim. Hey, Kim. We have a new Patreon person named Kim. Hi, Kim. Anyway, so now I'm going to show you how you can take this and put it in your portrait machine and cut it. Okay, my sheet's ready to go. I have it attached to my mat. I've adjusted my settings, and I'm going to get started. Hit send. Thanks so much for joining me. Hey, if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and share this with your friends who are also using Silhouette to do things for their Cricut or for their Silhouette machines. Bye-bye.